You've passed the test is immediately what came through. You've passed the test. I think that 2019 was the self-love ascension, which raising the vibration, spiritual awakenings, talks a lot about learning the lessons that you've needed to learn. I feel like you have officially really just learned all your lessons of what was posted on our Instagram, and I was like, wow, that's so powerful. You're really escaping the mentality of being stuck in your trauma and stuck in your head and things that have happened to you as if you are deserving of what has happened to you. Lessons that needed to be learned was to escape what you've suffered with. You know, you're choosing no longer to suffer. You've been suffering for a while. Yeah, you're breaking the cycle. There you go. Hangman card. When you're stuck in the past, you are reacting to things that have happened to you. And I think the universe has been throwing this back in your face over and over again with things that have happened to you. You have seen cycles repeat consistently. And the reason why is because it's time for you to break that cycle. And I think moving into 2020, that self-awareness and that self-recognition here is indeed coming. Basically, put it this way, you are so fearful of that every relationship you bonded with a man, you couldn't trust him and he left. Because you believe that men always leave, right? So these are all naturally programmed things that can get programmed into your mind. Who was consistently looking for attention, but feeling as if they never got it. You may have felt like you never got enough love from your parents for some of you. We're going really deep here. It definitely feels to me, this could be a recent relationship you have. For some, could be from your parents. I don't think that you're an attention-seeking person. I just think that you wanted to feel loved. I feel like whoever you're connecting with was a person who was very inconsistent with attention giving. It was an individual who didn't really know how to show love, at least in the correct way, and they always seemed to be very on the fence or very indecisive in regards to how they shared it with you. You were dealing with somebody who was definitely inconsistent. It started to confuse you emotionally. Like, how do I know I'm getting emotional? Wow. Let me get a second. They were the type of person who would show you love and then they wouldn't show you love. And it would confuse you on, do you care for me at all? Does this person really give a fuck about me? It always seemed like they took very good care of themselves, but did they ever take very good care of you? Now, of course, this person would say to the death of them that they do love you, right? The Lover's card. They acknowledge that they cared for you. Sometimes it almost looked like they never cared at all. Sometimes it looked like they only cared about themselves. No matter how much they would say that they loved and cared for you, you felt like you weren't loved. You always felt like, even though they'd say it, it was like, I don't feel it. And because you didn't, it led you to feel like you needed to act out in certain other ways to gain attention. Fuck, we're going deep. I feel like they made you strong in a sense. You know, whoever you're connecting with had to make you strong because how they treated you, you felt so on the fence, considering that you didn't really know what true love was. I think you became numb to the real feeling of love. And with the way that you felt so unloved, it made you so bitter towards love. Like, almost where you come from, I don't know what love is. Because if love is this, then this isn't really something that I want to put myself in. Somebody here, I don't want to say that to hurt anybody or to offend anybody, but it just feels to me that you've been given false love. The love that you think is love isn't love. You only feel like you're worthy of getting a little bit of affection here and there. Because it doesn't matter if someone says I love you, what matters is if someone really shows it. And if someone's going to show you they love you, they're going to be there for you all the time. They're going to show you attention and affection. You know, when someone really loves someone, they do anything for them. Because you felt so unloved at times, it kind of messed up your perception of love for you. You've always felt like, you've always had a lot of stressful relationships for some of you. I think you've always been frustrated that people don't understand you because I think you've always been trying to express love. Every time you formed a relationship with someone, you would show love and they wouldn't even get it. You would care for people in many different ways, but you always felt misunderstood. Like, well, if I'm showing someone love, why aren't they reciprocating it? It's because the person, whoever you were dealing with at the time, didn't necessarily know that was love. And I think you got to the point where you've been heartbroken so many times, you don't even want to give love a second chance because it's like, if no one can understand me and if no one can appreciate the love that I do offer, then what's the point of giving love? That affected you in the way that you perceived love, which could have been from a father, a family member, a relationship. Now, how you were affected was because you felt a lack of attention, a lack of affection, yet you were told that you were being loved. Because it's like, well, if that's love, then okay, that's love. It's not that you would ghost people. It's not that you would hurt people. It's not that you were a nasty person. You may have attracted connections where people have been mentally abusive towards you, where people may have not seen your value, where people would treat you like shit, and you would sit there and take it because you thought that this is what love was. And that's not the truth of the situation, because in a real loving relationship, somebody will not 110% abuse you mentally, call you mean things, or treat you in a bad way. They will treat you like you're a motherfucking king or queen that you are. You may have taken a lot of shit in a lot of relationships because you thought that was love, but that wasn't love. The first time this happened to you, from the first time you took abuse or negativity from someone, and it was called love. Now, coming into the present day, well, you're recognizing that you have had trauma. You have gone through many relationships of people treating you poorly and accepting them because you don't believe that you are worthy enough for someone to treat you in a really good way, because you believe as long as they say they love you. And now moving into 2020, realizing this is not love at all. This is not love at all. The way that people have treated me is not love. If people really want to treat me the right way, if people really cared for me, they wouldn't treat me this badly. Through 2019, you went through that self-love ascension. You started to learn how to take care of yourself and how to love yourself, and how to cut people out of your life who are toxic to you and harmful to you and treat you like shit, because you recognize that you don't deserve to be treated like shit. You don't. By changing your life and changing your perception, and now realizing that love is when someone genuinely cares for you and treats you how you deserve to be treated. And as you recognize this now, you will never let somebody undermine you or treat you like shit again. I love that for you, because I'm so happy that you went through this transformation, but I can feel the sadness that you guys went through so fucking powerfully, man. And it's bad. Like, I feel that. I'm on the verge of having a fucking a crying and shit. This is the most intense reading I've ever had. Holy fuck, man. But I'm so proud of you, because you went through this. You got through the cycle. You got through the trauma. You recognize what real love is, and you recognize that you're deserving of real love. In the past, you took so much shit from people that you didn't need to because you thought they loved you. They lied to you. They didn't love you. And as you have broken this cycle now moving forward, you're no longer desensitized to love too. You're open to it. You're open to real love with the right kind of person. You're open to the right kind of relationships and forming the right kinds of bonds. You and continue to know your worth. Because you are going to get that beautiful dream relationship that you've always wanted. You are going to be with that right person, because no longer was where people can negatively impact your life and treat you like shit. You'll never let a person do that to you again. So you are always now moving forward. You are going to vibe with the right people. You are going to stick around with the right people, and you are going to stay with people that treat you how you deserve to be treated. And I love that for you, because now that you recognize that you are worthy of good relationships, of love, of genuine people, you will never allow a person that brings you down or puts you in a negative place ever again. That is banished from your circle. You went through it, and it was painful. A painful transformation. It was an intense one. It was something that was hurtful, but it's feeling liberating now. You feel free from all the things you've gone through. Gemini full moon we just had, most likely that could have been an important day for you. You might have felt a huge release come out of you as well. Because as we're moving now into January 2020, things are changing for you rapidly in the way that you view yourself, and the connections that you will be manifesting into your life will be so much more pure. And you're not going to fear no more people trying to be more controlling over you, people trying to be more powerful over you, because you're recognizing that you are the Empress and you have both of those energies, divine masculine and divine feminine. You are really grounding yourself this month and this year to not settle for anything. You're no longer that person who takes all the shit from anyone. You are the person who's going to genuinely sit down and enjoy life, because you deserve to live an enjoyable life surrounded by good energy, good people, good vibes, good relationships, and living your best life. And I love so much that you are just at the tip of the iceberg, because as you're moving into 2020, your whole life is going to change. This new decade is going to change for you on the way that you view yourself and on the way that others view you. 2020 is going to be miraculous for you. New friends, new relationships, new career paths, all the things. You're looking at a beautiful year. It's time for 2020 for you to enjoy it. And I hope that you're proud of yourself from what you've overcome, because you have taken responsibility for the things that have happened to you and you're no longer allowing them to happen to you. This one, I really felt your struggle. I really felt that on an energetic level. It was very intense. But I hope that this gives you that sense of hope that 2020 will be a good thing for you. And you're no longer living in the past as you're living in the present. Wow, man. Thank you guys so much for watching.